In some way or another, the traditions, the beliefs, and the practices of the people of these mountains have traveled with us to the space age. We still make molasses, we still sing the old harp, but not everything made the trip. In the 1930s, a source of shelter and food and a basis for an economy died out from these mountains. The American chestnut. Probably only a handful hang on today, and this is one of them. Scarred and disfigured, it too is dying, but it hangs on. It blooms in the spring and bears its fruit in autumn. Except for a few of these twisted remnants, the entire population of the Smokies was wiped out in a period of about 10 years. Once they grew bigger than any tree in these mountains. 3 men with arms outstretched barely went halfway around, some of them.
I used to sell chestnuts on the market in Knoxville. I'd sell them 10 cents for a pint cup full.
You pick them up?
Pick them up sometimes. They'd get a bushel when it had frost in the fall, and they begin to open. When they all come out, why, the house picked up a bushel and a half under one tree when a couple of big winds blew them all out.
But the chestnut tree was also a money crop for the industry of the time. Leather was in demand, and to make it, you have to tan it. The bark of the chestnut tree was rich in tannic acid.
Used to make here at Canton about 50 million pounds a month of chestnut tanning extract. Use 275 cords of chestnut wood every day. Sell it as liquid tanning, or we dry it further in evaporators and sell it as a fine powder.
So long as the mighty tree grew, the leather could be made and a mountain boy could get a dime for a pint of its nuts. But then the unthinkable happened, a chestnut blight.
The chestnut blight is a fungus. It was introduced in the port of New York, presumably in 1905, on Chinese chestnut trees, which are brought in for cultivation purposes.
The blight reached the Smokies in the 1930s. The extinction of a huge plant is a rare occurrence in nature, but the mighty chestnut went down.
American chestnut would be about the size of your thumb, and you could go out in October and in November and just pick up bags full under a chestnut tree.
They'd come out of Knoxville up there to pick up, and a lot of people hated it awful bad. And it meant they didn't get that extra money to buy the children's shoes with for wintertime.
Here was the prime source of many, many things, and they were very important, and all of a sudden, in 5 years...
10 years, it's gone.
Unlike the mighty oak, today the American chestnut tree remains only a shadow, a great sprawling memory of times past that most of us can never know.